When you think of the most off-putting Junji Ito story, what do you think about? Maybe Amigiri Fault from that one video, or maybe that one page from Greased, which is creepy as hell, or maybe even something from Tomy. There are a lot of weird stuff in there, or who knows? Maybe Shiver. I have tryptophobia. That one freaked me out a lot. But in my opinion, it's neither one of those. The story that I'll be going over in today's video is one of the very first stories I've ever read of his, and it's from his Frankenstein story collection. That story is none other than Next Specter. Now, if you've read Frankenstein and his story collection, you'll know that after Frankenstein, there are short stories. These short stories are canonically connected in a certain way, and you know that this kid right here is a major asshole. With that being said, let's get into the story itself. We start off Next Specter with a kid in his yard digging up a hole. Who's he digging up? His friend that he buried and killed because he grew taller than him. I don't know why you would kill someone for being taller than you, but I mean, people have killed others for a lot less. He digs the hole deep enough to see his face. The kid says, so it was too shallow. I really did kill him. It's real. He said it as almost as if he didn't really believe the fact that he did it in the first place, as if it was like a dream. He then keeps digging, telling himself that he didn't mean to kill him, and he felt pitied. Why? Like, pity? That's some pride right there, brother. He then hits something and says sorry, but he's curious, so he keeps digging. He throws away the shovel and he uses his hands. It is then revealed that his friend's neck is long as shit. Like, I might not put that in. We then cut to the kid at school, thinking to himself about what he saw last night. He was so panicked that he decided to cover back up the body and then proceeds to tell himself, there's no way, I've never heard of a dead body's neck growing. Necks can never get that long. I don't know, I've seen some pretty long necks in my life. Insanely long necks. Have you ever grabbed the Ripley's Believe It or Not book? I can't remember which volume it was, but those books used to scare the heck out of me. And one thing in particular that used to scare the heck out of me are those people with like long limbs, like abnormally long limbs, especially long necks. After him being stuck in his own head, a girl comes up behind him, and then we find out that this kid's name is Oshikiri. They scared each other. The girl, whose name is Hada, says that Nakujima is missing. Oshikiri is like, what? As if he doesn't know what he did. Hada says that his mom called her last night, and after she said that, the only thing on his mind is the fact that her mom called Nakujima. I don't even know how to express, like, the amount of, like, what's the word? Jealousy. I don't understand the amount of jealousy that this kid has towards his own friend just for being taller than him. We then get a little context about their friendship before, you know, the man started growing up like a damn beanstalk. And basically, we see when they were younger, they were a lot shorter. They would always get picked on by the bigger kids in class. But then in high school, Nakajima grew to 5'10". And the taller he got, the more confident he got. We then see that Hada is talking to Nakajima and says, about a year ago, they were the same height, but he grew 8 inches in 1 year. 8 inches in 1 year? Gosh, I know your growing pains were bad, man. Your growing pains were terrible that year. Oh my gosh. I tried to record this video yesterday, but I didn't end up doing it because I didn't like how it turned out. So I looked it up, actually, in the previous recording. The average amount that a man in high school is supposed to grow a year is roughly 2 to maybe 3 inches, and on the high end, it's like 4 to 5. 8 inches in 1 year? That was a painful ass year. We then cut to Oshikiri in class, not really listening to the teacher, but the teacher is asking him about Nakajima's and him missing. He asks him, does he know anything about it? He says no. We then see that Hada is looking at Oshikiri, and she seems a little concerned. So then after class, Hada asks him if he has a minute. So they meet outside, and Hada starts to question Oshikiri about his actions recently, saying the way he's acting is weird because him and Nakajima were very close. Oshikiri says that he didn't see him on Saturday. Hada calls him a liar and says, I saw him. I saw Nakajima go into your house on Saturday. right? Okishiri tries to, cover it up by saying that it was just his cousin that she saw. He then looks over to see that Hada's neck is growing long, really long. And you want to know why this manga, to me, is the most off-putting? This stuff right here. Oh, imagine. Take my dog, for example. Take him for an example, right? Take his neck and just like stretch it out and it like curve and stuff, you know what? Easier. Take my neck, like stretch it out and then have it curve like a snake. Is that not weird at all? Come on. Okishiri is clearly freaked out and proceeds to kick the heck out of her. Like, really kick the heck out of her. Like, he got that, like, up there. She then goes down, and then a few guys hear what's going on. And then they walk over, they proceed to grab him. Oshikiri says, "Let me go. She's a monster. Look at her neck." We then proceed to see that her neck is perfectly fine. Then the guys call him crazy, pull him back, saying, "No, I'm telling you, it's there. Her neck grew super long." We then cut to Oshikiri in his teacher's office. The teacher is talking to him about kicking Hada, saying he didn't expect him to do something like that. But Oshikiri thinks about telling him, but he believes that the teacher will not believe him. He also points out the fact that he saw their necks grow when he was upset. The teacher then snaps him out of it by calling his name, saying, "Are you even listening?" But then his neck starts to grow and everyone else's neck in the classroom starts to grow. And they're talking to him about his neck being short, so they try to fix it by pulling on his hair, and then he gets out of there. He runs out of the school and everyone has a long ass neck, and they proceed to tell him that his neck is short. They're calling out his name and everything, and it's just a complete mess right now. He then finds his way home and then hides himself in his bed. He thinks he's hallucinating. He's worried Kojima's body, but he doesn't want to check, so he decides to look out the window. He then proceeds to see his neck growing out of the ground, slowly turning and looking at him, saying, "Okashiri, can I come into your room?" And for me, hex no. No. Stay your behind in that ground. I don't want you coming near me. He then closes the curtain and says, "Am I actually losing my mind?" Then he looks back outside to see that there's nothing there. He then leaves his house feeling like that Nakajima's head is gonna come and look for him inside of his house. So he proceeds to go to his cousin's house and tells him everything about the hallucinations. His cousin, a major in psychology, he just chops it up to the fact that he has anxiety about his height and also points out the fact that he's seeing their necks grow. We then see the reason why their necks are growing is because Oshikiri killed Nakajima by strangling him on his neck. His cousin then asks him if he would like to stay with him till his parents get back, but it really just depends on what you want. He stands up and then he hits his head on the ceiling. I wonder why he hits his head on the ceiling. Like, normally you just don't hit your head on the ceiling like that. Like, for me, I'm 6'1", right? I can stand on my chair, which is on max height, by the way, and my head still will not hit the ceiling. It gets close. Oh God, don't fall, please. I need a new chair. We then see his legs are long as heck. Oshikiri then tells him that he is hallucinating. The cousin says, "Does my neck seem longer?" as his legs are weirdly long. Oshikiri then runs outside and heads back to his house. He thinks that checking on Nakajima's body is a good way to have all this stop, because no way this is real. He then heads to his body to see, long neck, and his head is in his window. Oshikiri tells him that he's sorry and he forgives him, but Nakajima says, "What's happening? I don't know why, but look how tall I am." Can you believe it? In just 2 days. Gosh, those neck pains are terrible. Maybe it's because you strangled me. We then cut to Oshikiri in the hospital, and apparently he was just delirious. There are 2 detectives at his bed, and he confesses everything that he's done. But the detectives don't believe him, so the hallucinations and everything else and the dead body was pretty much just thrown out the window. And that's not the end yet. We cut to the 2 detectives talking, and one of them says, the boy says he only saw the neck, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. And then we see that Nakajima's body, covered up, his body is decomposed and long and lanky. And his head and his neck grew so long, in fact, that his head grew under the ground and on the other side of the wall. And that is the end of Next Specter. Wow. I will say this, other than Frankenstein, for this being like my second Junji Ito story that I ever read, it really threw me off. There are a lot of reasons, well, okay, I wouldn't say a lot, but there are certain reasons why this story still, even now, after like 3 or 4 years ago after me reading it, still creeps me out. One, in fact, I said this earlier, I'm tall. I'm not a short person, okay? And actually, when I was younger, I used to have a small fear of tall people. Like I said, Ripley's Believe It or Not instilled that in me. One thing, in one of the books, they show off the tallest man in the world. Just looking at him creeped me out. Just the long legs, the long arms, and just the out of proportionate body that was just weird. Of course, I'm not, weirded out by tall people now because, again, I'm tall. I see tall people everywhere and I can relate to the struggle. But when I was younger, it really creeped me out. And a part of me was also kind of, fearful that I would get that tall. But in reality, let's be real, that that wasn't gonna happen. I mean, normally people don't normally get that tall. It's very rare. Another thing, I was not familiar with Junji Ito's imagery at the time. I was not used to it. The only thing that I knew about Junji Ito was that one picture from Uzumaki, and honestly, that was it. So I didn't know much. Also, another thing, Okishiri. This dude is such an asshole. Like, you kill someone because they're taller than you. What? He's stubborn, he's jealous. You know what, he's insecure. That is the worst combination you can have, especially as a kid. I have an old theory on why all this is happening. I know why all this is happening because, they explain it in the rest of Frankenstein because the short stories in Frankenstein are like a chronological story, and last story pretty much explains all of it. But all of this actually is real and none of it is a hallucination. Why do I think that? Because in a way, since it is a cosmic horror, it could be real. Simply put, like, there's not much to it. So anyway, with that being said, hope you're having an amazing Tuesday. Watch out for your friends. You never know which one's jealous of you and which one's taller. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.